afternoon, everyone. Welcome to TOA Canada's monthly webinar. My name is Danny Jang, and I'm a member of the technical support team here at TOA. This month's topic is the new N-8000 maintenance software. The maintenance software is a complement to the N-8000 setting software, as it allows real-time monitoring of network activity and equipment. Here is an overview of the topics we'll be covering today. A general description of your N-8000 maintenance software, how to activate your maintenance software, a description of the screen layout and its menu options, the system information display, using the system check functions, and last but not least, using your unit monitoring function. The N-8000 maintenance software is used to monitor and maintain equipment within a system. It has three basic functions: to provide the system information to the user, ability for the user to check the system, and a way of the user to monitor the activity within the system. Once you have successfully installed the N-8000 maintenance software, it can be activated. Once activated, the system select screen is displayed. You can log into the file by one of two methods: system name or system file. The system name drop-down bar will reflect all saved files from your settings software, as where the system file will allow you to browse for files not saved in your settings software that you might have imported or exported in a PI8 format. Once you have entered the correct password, the OK button will become active. Screen description. In the screen, you'll have three menu options available to you: File, Tools, and Help. Under the File menu, you have Open, which opens data for another system, or Exit, which terminates a software program. And under the Tools menu, you have your Options, which is used to perform maintenance software operation settings. I'll go into a little more. We're going to drill a little deeper into the options menu. The first option you have available to you is the ping test. And when enabled, ping tests are carried out at the chosen time intervals, and that can be anywhere from 1 to 10 seconds. Next option available is the auto clock adjustment. And when enabled, the PC transmits the current time information to all components in the system at the selected time every day. Please keep in mind that the auto clock adjustment only operates when the maintenance software is open and connected to the system. Next is the Assign Folder option. This designates which folders of log files and setting files are stored when downloaded to a PC. Both the operation and stream logs are stored in the log files. The auto-saving log. This sets the maximum number of events that will be downloaded in one log file. Firmware update enables a downgrade of firmware. And last of the three menu options is the Help menu. The Help menu displays the version of the maintenance software. The latest version of the software is 1.0. System information display. This screen displays the equipment and station name and numbers of each component in the system. Section 1 from the previous slide displays the equipment data. The display contents are as follows. The bolded character represents the equipment connected to the network, such as an exchange, a multi-interface box, an audio interface box, any of the above. It'll show the equipment number, equipment name, and model name. The equipment number refers to the number that was assigned to the equipment when you first registered it in your settings software. It'll also show the equipment name that you assigned it, as well as the model of the equipment. Under stations, you'll see the line number is connected to the exchange, and the station number that you've assigned it, as well as the station name, and again, the model of the station. In Section 2 of the System Information Display, it displays the equipment number, name, model, IP address, and subnet mask of the selected component. Clicking the Browser button makes connections to the selected component via the browser. If you're familiar with the browser, you'll notice that the maintenance software has the same options and functions that the browser has. But the main difference is, with the maintenance software, you're able to hit multiple components at the same time, as opposed to the browser where you're only signing into that one component. Section 3 of the System Information Display displays the station's number and name and model of the station selected in the equipment list. Now we'll move on to using the system check functions. You'll see in Section 1 displays a list of information for components within the system. As you can see, it has a column for equipment number, model, equipment name, IP address, subnet mask, firmware version, and ping result. Sections 2 and 3 allows the user a convenient way of checking all equipment in the equipment list or unchecking all equipment in the equipment list. Number 4 is the ping test restart button. What this does is clears previous ping results and starts a new ping test. Ping test is only enabled when activated in the options menu. What it will do is it will send a ping twice in the interval set, and if there's no response, communication error is assumed. A successful ping result will show as success. Unsuccessful one will show as destination host unreachable. Below that, you have your network status check button. And what this does is checks network connections between the components in your system. It's a little different from the ping results, as the ping results test the connection between your PC and the equipment. And the network status checks the connections between the components in the system. Next up is your operation stream log and setting file download section. And this will allow you to download those 3 files or the selected files you want into the assigned folder you've set in your options menu. Number 7 is the clock synchronize start button. What this does, it manually synchronizes the clocks of the component selected to the PC's current time. This is in addition to the auto clock adjustment that is available to you in your options menu, which syncs the clocks to your PC at the given time that you set in your options menu. Number 8 is your firmware version check button, which allows you to check the firmware version of each component in your system. Sections 9 to 11 is where the firmware upgrades take place. This is also where you would do the firmware downgrades if you've enabled it through the option settings. Our next topic is using the unit monitoring functions. Section 1 of the unit monitoring functions is the equipment list. And you'll notice there's 3 viewing options available to you, either by equipment name, equipment model, or the IP address you assign to your equipment. There are 3 boxes within your equipment list. First up is the select to monitor, which shows components not currently being monitored. The second box is the selected, which shows selected components to be monitored. And your monitored unit box, which shows components currently being monitored. Please keep in mind that you can only monitor up to 8 pieces of equipment simultaneously. And adding equipment to the monitored is a 2-step process, as you have to move to the selected box, then again over to the monitored unit box. Section number 2 is your view contents checkbox, and this designates the items to be displayed in your equipment status. The options available to you are line status, and this reflects all stations connected to Exchange and their current status. Link status, shows speech paths engaged between stations and their current status. And contact status shows whether the contact terminals of the selected components are on, which would be make contact, or off, or break contact. Number 3 is your view option selector, and this switches the content displayed in the equipment status display list. The options available to you are line number, station number, or station name. Section number 4 is the equipment status display list, and this displays current line, link, and contact statuses of the components currently being monitored. I'll be drilling a little deeper into section number 4 in future slides. Number 5 is the call-in status display field, and this displays current call-in status of components selected in the equipment display list. Number 5 only applies to systems that have where the setup is many stations that are programmed to call one master station, and it's set to a selective mode, which means the master, in the occasion where multiple stations would call the master would have the ability to select which one he would take first. And section number 6 is the operation log list, and this displays operation logs of components selected in the equipment status display list. So the operation log list is pretty much an amalgamation of all the information available in the equipment status display, along with a timestamp of when each event occurred. As I promised in an earlier slide, we're going to dig a little deeper into section 4, which was the equipment status display list, and the three types of content available to you in that list. First up is the line status. I'll be using an exchange as an example. You can see there's for the line numbers, there's 1 to 16 available to you. And below that, you'll see the line status of each line. The indication, the line status field represents the following content. OK represents normal functionality. NG represents communications disabled. And the slash indicates that there is no station connected to that line. Now the second type of content available to you in your equipment status display list is link status. You'll see the heading number at the top there, and that refers to the number of speech paths available to you. And if this is an example with an exchange, that would be 8. The link status also indicates which station is placing the call, and the above shows station line 1 from equipment number 4 is placing a call to another station on line 5 by equipment number 5. The status shows what state the link is in, either in conversation or a call has been placed but not answered yet. Here's a closer look at the third content available to you in your equipment status display list. It's the contact status, and this would apply to our direct select and multi-interface units. It displays the state of each C-in and C-out, whether it be on for make or off for break. That brings us to the end of our N-8000 maintenance software webinar.